Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
And now, the Hey Poopy Podcast with Dave and Ellen.
Yes.
It's dump day.
And we are back.
And we are back.
We have an amazing guest.
We do, but before we go into our guest, this is Hey Poopy Podcast, episode 56, but it'll always be number 2 to us, and it's with your favorite hosts,
Dave.
And Ellen.
I like that little intro. That was like you did a little round, you flipped it a little bit. I like it.
It's because I'm dyslexic.
We had a whole conversation before the show about Ellen's dyslexia.
Yeah. If you didn't think I had problems before, here's a couple more thrown onto that.
No, it's great though.
But we have an amazing guest today, Jacoby Pruitt, a freelance dancer here in New York City.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Thanks for being on the show.
Of course, thanks for having me. I'm such a fan.
Yay!
Oh, that's amazing. We love fans.
Yeah, I met Jacoby November, I want to say.
Yeah, sounds about right.
When I went and saw him at Company XIV, and we had a mutual friend, Lillian. Lillian, hi, shout out to you. I mentioned
What's
you
up, Lillian?
again
Yes,
on the
we love
podcast. And she was like, Jacoby, you need to listen to this podcast. And so, yeah, that's 3 months later, 2 months later?
Yeah, something like that. We were chatting a little bit, and I was like, I just need to finish up my contract, and then I'm all yours.
Yeah.
Yay! And you're on to a next contract, which is exciting.
Working at the Metropolitan Opera right now.
Wow.
Super fun.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's a fun gig.
Congratulations.
Trying to make these checks.
Yeah, tell me about it. We all are.
Before we go into more of who Jacoby is, I keep wanting to say Jacoby, so please, me and my dyslexia.
That's his AKA.
Exactly. Before we go into exactly more about you, let's go into your poo. How have your poos been?
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Oh,
Okay,
I forgot to pull out the chart. Oh my God, I'm such a dingleberry.
This is like...
He knows the Bristol stool chart.
But you know what? So I haven't looked at it. It's interesting to I hear everyone talk about it, and then I'm like, what? Oh my God, ass goblins?
Well, one's sort of the punk rock version of the Bristol stool chart. That's like the sort of like freestyle one.
Yeah, there's
wow.
different
and this
variations.
Is the more clinical. The other one's a little more clinical. So
Looks like chicken nuggets. Oh my God, okay.
Yeah, because like the 5 are different on both of these charts. Like, I don't think it's necessarily chicken nuggets. I think 5 is kind of like very loose, like loose in the caboose, but not as loose as like a full-on...
Like 7, because that's just like...
That's butt pee.
yeah, it's just liquid.
Yeah. Oh my God. All right. So,
did you poo this morning?
I did twice.
Yay!
Nice.
So I poop more than once a day. I'm one of those people. So it's like a little routine how it comes out, but also then a little variation. So like generally in the morning, it's like a 5 to 6. Because I drink a lot at night.
Okay.
I drink myself to sleep, glasses of wine, bottles of wine. So when I wake up in the morning, it's kind of like making its way out. Just like evacuate the dance floor. And then by the time I've like moved on with my day and had coffee and stuff, it's like, wow, 4 looks ideal. But it's like a 5, maybe a 3.
Okay, so
you're like a little harder or a little softer.
Yeah, I know. Wow, 4. That's like a...
Yeah, 4 is the gold standard.
4 is mystical.
That is, I haven't had one of those in a while. That's... I'm also always dehydrated, and I eat like a truck driver. So, yeah.
I'm assuming you're very young then.
I'm 25, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I used to do that too. And then when you get into your lovely 40s like we are, you realize how important fiber and water is.
Yeah.
I never even thought about it until we had Lawrence from Pure for Men. I'm like, fiber? What? People should take fiber? I mean, I eat stuff with fiber in it, but not like pills.
Yeah.
So it really helps.
I think about it all the time because
now I do.
My number 1 problem is my number 2 problem.
Yeah.
So.
You've got a lot of problems.
That's just my number 1 problem.
Yeah. Well, so it's basically between a 3 and a 5.
Yeah.
And you make both your poos in the morning?
I do one in the morning, and then the other's like mid-afternoon.
Yeah.
Once I've been moving around for the day.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's when you talk about like running, how like runners get poops.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like from dancing, from like moving your body.
Oh, my God. I can't imagine.
It's like...
I'd be so nervous.
I have coffee, I do class, whatever, and then I'm like, oh, okay, it's time. I have to find a bathroom.
What about you, Dave? How have you been?
Okay. I mean, well, this morning I went for my run. I did an 8.5 mile run today.
Ooh,
Hey.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it's we're building up our winter base, as they say. Really exciting shit right there. But anyhow, but once again, like I've gotten better with being nervous about before I go for a run. But this morning I got no sleep last night. I went to bed at 11:15, and I was like wide awake, and I just feel like I kept waking up like every other hour, and so I got up at like 6:45, and that thing where you're like, I don't want to get out of bed because it's cold, and then I have to go to the bathroom, but it's so comfortable. And I just went to the bathroom. It was I unloaded in there.
Number 2?
Oh yeah, it was like
maybe that's why you were awake the whole time.
I don't know. No, it just hit me like when the alarm went off. That's when I was like, my stomach was like, oh, this is happening. And so I ran to the bathroom, and it was like 5. It was bad. It was like I just literally kept flushing because normally before I go for runs in the morning,
if you didn't keep flushing, you would have made a messy.
It was horrible. But like normally before I go for a run, I have to go to the bathroom anyway in the morning, and then I get a little nervous before long runs because I'm thinking about it too much. And I take like 2 to 3 shits before I even leave the house. But they're like small, but they're like they're quick. This was like just one. I mean, I looked at my watch. It was 7:01. And then when I left the toilet, it was like 7:14.
Whoa!
Yeah, I was just sitting there on the. I'm like, this is like. I'm like, okay, I can get up now.
What did you eat that is needed out
I don't
so
know.
badly?
I think I just
it was that pot cookie.
Maybe it was a pot cookie. But no, okay, like let's clarify. I did have a weed cookie, but it was like, I mean, I took like the little edge, like nibble. It wasn't like. I mean, it was barely like a bite.
Just enough to get it going.
But maybe.
Yeah.
And then I was away in Atlanta for 3 days, and I mean, I was eating great. We had one night out. We ate kind of shitty. But other than that, like I didn't really. So I don't know. I mean, I did have some mulligatawny soup that was pretty spicy.
What's that?
It's like lentil. It's like Indian lentil soup.
Oh.
With tomato base. It's really delicious. It's one of my
Yummy.
favorite things to eat. But it was way more spicy than I remember, or at least this particular
And this
place.
was yesterday?
This was Thursday.
Oh.
So maybe Thursday it somehow was still like in me, but it was bad. Like the dump I took this morning was horrible. I mean, and the gas was really bad. I mean, my whole system was all fucked up from Atlanta, I think. And then, so now I think I'm finally getting back on some kind of normal track. If there is normal, I don't know what that is anymore.
Wow.
But yeah.
Well, at least you got it out of you before your 8
it was like an
mile
exorcism.
Run. Oh, yeah.
Like a demon exorcism.
Can you imagine if that happened while you were running?
No, I don't. Knock on wood, still has not happened. And then when I left this morning, I was like, oh, I still feel like I have to go a little bit, but I'm like, I don't have time. So I just like, I'm like, well,
let it fuel you.
Although we did run to Brooklyn Bridge Park, and then there was a bathroom there, but I didn't have to go. So that's number one. But how was your poo?
I texted Dave a couple days ago because I think I'm addicted to Swiss Chris. And when I say addicted, I don't mean like I'm jonesing for laxatives in my life. I'm saying
like,
more.
Oh, please.
I'm saying my body can't shit without it. So I was like squeezing out ones, hardest rocks, and like in shapes that don't leave the body easy, and it's like I feel like I have to
Weird
poo.
geometric shape.
Yeah, and I feel like I have to poo, and I'm sitting with the squatty, like my legs up, and like I'm doing all this stuff, and it's like breaching in a weird way, and I'm just like, oh my god, my asshole! Like I've had so much drama with my asshole, I need it to stop, and so I squeeze it out, and then that's the only shits I make all day is these tiny little. So I had like 5 days in a row of ones. So I popped 2 Swiss Chris like the other night because I was like, fuck this, I'm sick of this. The next day I started off with ones, went to a 4, and then had this pile of messy Nessie that was like absurd. But I felt so much lighter
because how you take these
Swiss Chris.
I know, but I just feel like I've taken one of those Swiss Chris. I've never had anything like the stuff that you're making.
Well, if you start off with ones and you're desperate for something like serious, you don't have a choice.
Oh.
So then I made this pile, and I was like so excited because I felt so much lighter. It was like 5 days worth of shit coming out of me at once. And then the next day I shit normal, like 4s, like 2 4s, and I was like happy with my life. And then I went right back to like ones again. And like I take fiber, flaxseed oil. I eat so healthy.
Yeah, you do.
The stuff that I eat, it's like so much fiber and fruit and like greens, and I should
go in reverse. reverse. It's like working in reverse somehow.
It's like my body's like too much fiber. We're gonna like screw you over. I drink buckets of water.
You just need to eat like Popeyes and like McDonald's for like a week.
Right?
See what happens.
My God.
Like the grease will slide everything out.
If I could eat Popeyes for a week and be like not sick, I'd be in heaven, pure heaven. I love fried chicken more than anything in the world. But so anyway, then yesterday, of course, I'm pinching off ones again, and like so hard and like weird, like almost like a heart shape. Like it doesn't even make sense how it's leaving the body. Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, right. Well, when this episode comes out, I think it's like after Valentine's Day. But I actually made a poo the other day that was like a long 4 that like tapered off and it looked like an infinity symbol, and it came back around, and I looked in the toilet and I was like, I should take a picture of this for greatest shit.
Yeah, you should.
But I like ended up not having my phone
I hate
on
looking
me.
at my I can't even stand look. I'm just like, it's just a reminder. I'm like,
I know.
Flush. I just like flush immediately.
You need to know. Because sometimes it feels different than what it looks like, and you're like,
yeah.
You're like,
especially
that's it?
when you're pinching off the ones, and it's like you're like, oh God, just leave the body, and you're like, that's it. My cat shit's bigger than that.
Yeah,
like
that sounds like a Tetris game in the toilet. Also,
Totally.
So you're like, did I clear the row?
yes.
Clear the row.
So yesterday I was pinching off ones again. So I took a Swiss Chris last night, woke up today, made huge dump, which I was really excited about. But as I was leaving the house, because we're recording kind of on the early side, I was like, oh my God, I think I'm going to shit my pants. And then I went on the drive here. Yes, I got my car back. I know everybody, my check-in was the fact that my car was the catalytic converter was stolen from it a couple episodes ago. It took 10 days to get it back, blah blah blah. It's a big pain in the ass, but anyway, driving here, I was like stuck in traffic, and I was like, these people need to leave. I'm gonna shit my fucking pants in the car. And the best part about it is I need to do laundry so badly, and so I have the palest, cutest pair of underwear on. I don't have my normal like black cotton panties, and I'm like, if I shit in these cute pieces of underwear, I'm gonna be so mad at myself.
Oh my God.
So I literally walked through the door, and Dave was like, hi, and I was like, I gotta pee and I might shit my pants. And he was like, you came in hot.
You had your bags on your arms. You had everything.
Yeah.
I feel like they need like an alarm, like a police siren, but for like when you have to shit.
Yeah.
Because everyone has been in a situation where you're like in the car and you're like, I'm just trying to get home. Or like in an Uber and you're like,
oh yeah. Like,
roll down the
extra
window for the air.
yeah, I'm like, you're like starting to sweat
Yeah.
a little bit. Like I feel
Extra
like you're
quiet.
supposed to flip something and it's just like boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
Everyone is just like, oof, they're just
You're like
fall over.
hot and
Yeah.
cold at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I gotta shit, everybody gotta move. And they're just like, let you race home.
It is a nightmare. I tell myself that if I ever get a ticket on my motorcycle, or if I'm like doing something like, like cutting the lane, I'm just gonna be like, I gotta take a shit.
I feel like the cops would be like, you know what?
Yeah. I'm like, it's gonna happen right now. Actually, give me this ticket if you don't let me go,
Yeah,
please.
I feel like a police escort.
Yeah.
That's how my boyfriend
Clear the
got rid
roads.
of panhandlers in Jamaica. They kept trying to be like, we'll sell you stuff, we'll do this. And Gerald just turned to them and he goes, I have diarrhea. And they just left him alone.
They're like,
It's universal. It is universal. Like, no problem. Like, that's hilarious. So that was a pretty good check-in. Nice.
Well, it's been a very shitty week.
It's been a very shitty, and well, maybe this week if you had some like junk food, maybe it'll do the reverse. Go on the shittier side of eating.
Okay, I'll try
and
it
then
one
see what
day.
happens. Maybe like you'll find some kind of
Wouldn't that be
balance.
amazing?
Yeah.
'Cause when I used to be in my 20s, I would eat like the pizza slices that had like basically it was like fried chicken on top of it.
ooh, that sounds good.
But it was like chicken cutlets.
Oh,
Yeah.
the breaded kind.
Yes, yes.
yeah.
And there was a pizza slice. It was like a chicken parm, but in a pizza slice.
I cannot sign off on that. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's so good. Or the meatball parm from Artichoke. Oh my God.
That's actually pretty fucking good though.
Yeah, artichokes. I lived on the same block as the original Artichoke. I used
14th?
to, yeah, I used to go there all the time. Like I ate such garbage when I was in my 20s, and I never went to the doctor. Except for my annual at the OBGYN, but I was never sick. I was eating garbage. I was skinny as fuck. Now that I'm like 42, eating really healthy, I'm 25 pounds heavier. I can't shit for my life. I'm a mess. I'm always at the doctor's.
Shit.
What is wrong with me?
So you gotta do it the reverse.
right, that's it. I'm going to take your advice. Tomorrow I'm just going to eat like a garbage human.
Just start eating some shitty food and see what happens.
Sounds like a plan.
You never know.
I mean,
you're doing everything else right.
If there's one thing that'll wreck you, for me, 2 slices of artichoke pizza when I wake up in the morning.
In the morning for breakfast.
No, when you have it, like, especially working at XIV, like, we get out late, so it's like,
and it's right there, it's around the corner,
artichoke.
right?
So then I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna get pizza. So you eat 2 slices, I'm like, I'm going to bed. I wake up in the morning and my stomach is like, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, okay, time to go. And then you get on the toilet and it is rough, honey. I'm like, was it worth it? And then part of me, literally, and my cat's like,
yeah,
you good? And I'm like,
is there another cat in here? What's going on?
Literally, he's like, what? Why?
What's that sound?
Happening here?
Another quick check-in. I texted Dave the other day. I was laying on the couch with my cat and I farted so loud he jumped up and ran.
He's like, oof. He's like,
I
you're
was
nasty.
like, oh, sorry, kitty.
Well, see, I have a Sphinx cat.
Oh my
nice.
God.
That I love. He's such a little angel. Except that he is like, I guess they're notorious for being really gassy.
Oh.
But I mean silent, but deadly.
Oh,
deadly. So when we first got him, we were switching his food, and you wouldn't know he farted, and then all of a sudden it was like, you're like, who died? Like horrible. And he did last night. We were going to bed. We got in late, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to bed, and I hear him like pawing around his litter box, and he runs out of the room, and I'm like, oh great, all right, took a shit. Here we go. The smell that came into the room. My boyfriend and I were like, how are we going to live in this room right now? Like, it was so bad. And I was like, why are you so disrespectful? And then
fresh
I thought,
cat shits are the worst.
I feel like they need to have poopery for cats, and I need to teach my cat how to sprinkle it around or do whatever. Like,
yeah.
Because
what kind of litter do you use?
Whatever they sell at Rite Aid. It's like,
okay. I get the crystal litter and it's a little more expensive, but everybody comes over. My cat litter is in a closet in the kitchen and everybody's like, I can't smell it at all.
Crystal litter. Okay.
Yeah, the crystals, to me, work the best out of.
I've tried a bunch of different ones that all claim to be like odor blocking, and I'm like,
no,
y'all haven't met my
beats
cat.
Shit.
Right?
Nothing beats shit.
He's not playing games. Like, and he waits till we get home.
Or is he?
He's about to turn 3.
Oh, okay, because kittens sometimes I feel like have the worst shits. Like their bellies are just like destroyed.
Yeah, I feel like he is mad that we're gone a lot, so he like waits till we get home, and then is like,
cats do. Like,
and just like let's have fucking litter box.
I feel like no litter beats the smell of shit.
No, God. And then he like half-ass covers. Like, it's like,
oh yeah, our cat's 17. She doesn't even like cover it up anymore. She's like, you know what? They get it. They'll smell it. They'll clean it. There's no like. She just doesn't even try anymore. Which I get. She's old. Whatever. I let her.
My favorite is my 85-pound pit bull. She'll fart and she'll whip her head around and try to smell it. And you see her like. It's the best. It cracks me up.
I love. I guess like my cat like won't even be bothered by it. He'll be like wrapped in his blanket and will fart, and I'll like go to pet him, and I'm like, "How are you in this blanket?" And he's just so unbothered.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my nose
Maybe
hairs
he can't smell.
Yeah, I don't get that either. They're just kind of like nothing happened. You're like, this is really insane. Like, how do you, and they have great senses of smell. Like, how are you not disgusted by this?
My eyes are watering. I'm like losing eyebrow hairs, and he's just like,
paint's like coming off the wall.
Literally. And I'm like, all right,
God.
he's just chilling. I'm like, just Wednesday.
Oh my God.
So, Jacoby.
Yes. Tell us, you're a dancer.
Everything.
Do you tell us more about yourself?
Yeah, I'm a dancer. I'm originally from Florida, from Miami. Woot woot. I moved here in 2012 to go to NYU and graduated the BFA.
Nice.
I, from there, joined the second company in Albanelli, and I did that for 2 years.
That's amazing.
Then I did some freelance work in the city, worked at a restaurant, joined XIV, and then I just now transitioned out of XIV and into the Met.
How long were you at XIV for?
I was there for 2 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 7 shows in 2 years.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was such a great job. I really had a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody who I'm friends
a great
with,
show.
Yeah, who work there just say that the community is incredible.
Oh my God, it's so fun. And we just, after this, I just like, I feel like I need a break. I'm so tired. I've been performing like the majority of the weeks out of the year, like maybe 46 out of 52 weeks a year.
Oh my God.
During the last show, my body was like, maybe we relax for a second. And I was like, yeah.
And you do multiple shows in a day too,
yeah,
right?
Some days we do 2 shows a night, and some weeks it's like 8 shows a week. It's like so worth it and so fun. But like at a certain point, my body was like, look, you need like a month to just like chill it out. And they were rolling right into the next project. And I was like, I'm gonna bow out of this one for a second. I love y'all, but I need a moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it seems really hard on the body.
So I was like, I'm just gonna go heal. I'm gonna go visit my family, maybe take a vacation. I said that and then I immediately started working again, but these are all like long-term goals.
Right,
I'm gonna go on a
right.
vacation. I'm gonna go back to Florida when it's warm and see my family and do all that nice stuff.
And you were saying earlier before Ellen got here, like how now your new gig is like earlier in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Versus nightlife. So it's like that switch is probably
Compared to like having to be somewhere at 6 p.m. and then having to be somewhere at like 10 a.m. And I started like, we closed Nutcracker on a Sunday and I started the Met that next Monday morning. So we
my
had
God.
a closing party, went out, and I was like, all right, it's 2 a.m. going to bed. And then like 6 hours later, I was like, okay, time to go to ballet. And like had to drag myself. And I was like, I didn't even drink that much last night.
Wow. Yeah, that's brutal.
It's
And is it as many days a week, the Met?
5 days a week, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Full time.
Well, I mean, that's still pretty great that you're working at the Met. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I love it
It's
there.
really great. It's a really interesting place to work. Oh my God, here we go. Poop transition.
Ooh.
Oh,
So-
please.
Yes. Yeah, let's get to the
Yeah.
main
This is
topic.
the real meat and
dance
potatoes.
studio is in like the third sub-basement.
Third sub-basement.
The third sub-basement. It's like sea level. So like you're underground. There's like no service. It's like a whole thing.
Right.
So, but the dance studio, there's like one bathroom on the floor. And what else is on the floor is it's the dance studio, 2 bathrooms, a couple offices, the rehearsal, like, they have like fake stages that are built down there where they like load in fake props and whatever. And then all of the crew, their lounges down there.
Oh, okay.
So we share a bathroom.
And so when you say one bathroom, is it like one toilet?
No, like one bathroom is like 5 stalls. And like
Oh, okay.
Right. One area
I
bathroom.
was like, one toilet for one floor would be pure evil.
No, but so we share it with like the crew of the Met, which is like a bunch of like burly like
Blue
men.
collar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So coffee morning poops. As I walk into the bathroom in the morning, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna pee like for class, and then it's just like 5 crew members' feet, toilet angles, and just like a symphony of just like. And then I'm like, wow, I eat bad, but that room, it is.
And it's like there's a men's room and a women's room.
Yes.
So I wonder what's happening in the women's room.
I never really see female members of the crew, like the people that like break down the sets and stuff.
Yeah.
So theirs must be, I'm going to say maybe, it's not even the bathroom's dirty. The bathroom's super clean, but they are in there.
But a symphony.
wreaking
Just wrecking it.
havoc. By the time I get in there, I'm like,
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't imagine the smell.
and then they're all like, and they walk up with the newspaper and they're like, what's up, Bob? Good morning, Jim. Door swings open. It's like, oh, God. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
and I'm like, I just woke up. What's happening?
Watched the game last night.
Oh my God. I'm like, what? Who had chili? It's like rough. But yeah, so that's
Something stinks.
literally. I'm like,
I think somebody like Undercover Poo or Poopery has to be a sponsor of.
needs to
Yeah.
be like they need
The
to,
Met.
it needs to be like a just self-dispensing.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Because then sometimes I go in there and I'm like, okay, I have to poop, and then I'm like, sometimes I get weird about like pooping in public just because you never know the sounds. You don't want to be crazy, but then I'm like, no shame here because they are.
Yeah,
no one
these
will
guys,
know who I am.
These guys just totally destroyed it.
Yeah, I'm like, no one will know.
So like, Jacoby, is that you?
Like freezing
Yeah.
thing, like
Put your
gonna
legs
lift
over
my
there.
feet. I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
Nope, not here.
Well, you're flexible enough. You could hide your feet for.
Yeah, I like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man.
That'd be a great story.
It's hilarious. Yeah.
So I mean, basically,
Dave and I don't work in offices because we're freelance, so we work at home. But that office, even though yours is not a typical office, it's still an office mentality with public-ish bathrooms.
Yeah.
I'm always confused by that.
I'm with you, and like when I walk into like a public bathroom and it's like all the stalls are being used, and you're just like, oh man, like, and it just. There's something about it because, like, it's so solitary, but now you got like a whole audience.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not like, that's not my thing. But, when you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah. And I feel like dance spaces are so notorious for having like the worst bathrooms, which is funny because like I feel like dance theater spaces are like where the most pooping happens. Like Ripley Greer, Pearl Studios, where like you go to auditions, the bathrooms there. I was thinking of this because in one of the podcasts, Dave, you had said that you don't like when someone poops like right next to you.
Oh, yeah.
But you'll walk in and like the room will be the size of a corner and there will be just 2 stalls. The door like swings open just enough to like knock into the stalls. And then it's like everyone's in there just nervous pooping. Like that's it. That's the only thing that happens in there is like post morning coffee shit, nervous poops. That's it. So you walk into a tiny bathroom that you like literally no more than people can go in.
Yeah.
And you're just like, nope, not this one. Let's try another floor. And you just search around to find the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that. I used to, like, in my old job, there was times where the bathroom was being remodeled, and we had to go use the bathroom upstairs, and it was so much bigger. And then after our bathroom got fixed, I just kept using the one upstairs because I'm like, you know what? I don't need to be that close to people I work with taking shits. It's a nightmare. But
yeah, you always have to do recon in those kind of buildings.
Oh yeah,
you know,
if you can find like a really nice space, you know, that's kind of my jam.
Both high school and college, I remember being like, where is the best toilet to shit in? Where the least amount of people are? Which floor? I will walk 3 floors to find the best one.
I want to be comfortable when I'm in there.
Exactly.
And my high school was a 9-floor office building. So the the classrooms were on like 3 and 4, but then the 5th floor was like just like random offices. I used to always just sneak up to the 5th floor when I had to poop, and then there's my moment.
Exactly.
It was always quiet, always clean.
Yeah, you got to do recon.
Hell yeah. You don't want that pressure.
Not at all.
I'm curious about the sub basement. Like, is this sub basement? Like, I just imagine like there's like a
the Mets
dungeon
at
master.
Lincoln Center, so there's probably that whole complex has a bunch of different.
You like go in on the stage level, and then you go down 3 flights of stairs. Or like 4 flights of stairs to sea level, which is like the last basement. But the Met has where the stage is, it goes. Under the stage is completely empty, and they have different stages they like move in. So they move in and up. So it's like I don't even know, 50,000 story, like drop to hell under the stage, basically. One day they were like, careful, and I like looked back and they were lowering a stage, and I was like,
shit.
That's so cool.
Oh, that's the idea. It's amazing.
So it's like everything's kind of built around that. So underneath it is just all
just
storage.
Cavernous. Wow.
Cavernous. It's crazy.
Huh. I had no idea. That's amazing. I like the ins and outs of that stuff.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like, what? And they're like, we're bringing in the new thing. It was like, and the new one came over it and lifted up, and I was like, this is insane.
I wonder if they do tours. Like, I love stuff like that.
They must.
Or they do. I see people sometimes they're like touring around. They'll show people and stop hitting this wire.
No, it's okay.
I just like keep punching.
We don't have a professional studio. This is like semi-professional.
We sound professional.
Amateur. But it's a bunch of it's being held together with duct tape people.
But the Met and Lincoln Center have been around forever. And so I'm so curious to like what they used to do versus like now is probably like hydraulics and stuff.
Yeah, I like the idea of like the underground tunnels and all the things linking to each other. Like what kind of weird stuff like is going on down there.
Yeah, it's a really interesting. It's just massive. Like it is so easy to get lost in there.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it all the building is like not a full circle because of the stage, so you constantly have to go like around. So not every floor connects the same way.
Oh.
So you'll like you have a costume fitting on the 4th floor, and you like get up and you took the wrong elevator. So then you're like, where am I? And then you have to go back into the elevator and like retrace your steps. God. I get lost all the time, and I'm like, hi, in the office, where am I?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, where are you trying to go? And I'm like, this room. And they're like, okay, back down 2 more floors, and you're going to cross behind the stage. You go back up the 3rd elevator bank. And I'm like,
you're in Jersey.
I'm like taking notes. Okay. And then on my way, I'm like, is this the right way? And they're like, yeah, keep going. I'm like,
you're like, how did I end up in Narnia?
There's like a skeleton, like you're walking by, like just some bones in the corner.
I like get there, I'm like sweaty with a beard. I'm like, I'm here.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I have a friend who works at the other Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and he's been there for like 25 years. And he took us into like some of the sub floors where like he was like, oh, I'll have a shortcut. And I was like, oh my God, if I wasn't with you, we would get so lost. And he goes, oh, he helps like hire some of the new people there. And he goes, I constantly with new employees get text messages like, I don't know where I am.
Just sharing your location. You're like searching for them with a flashlight.
Please, someone.
So yeah, these kind of buildings in New York City are. Yeah.
I love that shit though.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, I'm looking across the table and I see some notes you have.
Yeah,
I did.
And you know we love
Tell
notes.
us more.
Okay, because you had sent me the thing with the questions. So I was like, well, questions, and I wrote down just like little tidbits and stories that I thought.
Yes, please.
If we had like a transition, then I'd be like, I'll bring this story.
Well, I use the questions as a jumping off point, but I mean, like if you answer all the questions and I don't have to ask them, it's even better.
Okay.
So yeah, just go for it.
Fire away.
Blast off.
Yeah.
Well, wait, let's start with a question, and then I'm going to segue it into something else.
Perfect.
Then I can.
I'm pretty bad at transitions, so that was like I know I crowbarred that in there a little bit.
Oh no, you're fine. I like
to
because I was like, these are so you always say in the podcast like once you talk to someone and like I was told all my friends I was doing this and everybody was like, I have a shit story, and I was like, tell me, I'm going to claim it as my own, or I'll just say like I heard it from someone. So like I talked to a bunch of friends and they were like, oh my God, this happened, and a lot of them were like, haha, okay, and then a few of them were like, I'm sorry, what? I was like, more
Back up.
details. I
They're
was
like-
like, I have so many questions. And they were like, I will
my
not provide
God.
answers. And I'm like, that makes it better.
Yeah.
Because now I'm just like left with speculation and like what I've created in my head as a
Yeah.
mental image.
It's probably better anyway. You're like, oh my God.
I'm like, ooh. I'm like, some of y'all, that's unfortunate.
Well, let's start off with a softball question. What kind of toilet paper do you use, and are you over or under?
I am a hard over,
Uh-huh.
not a fan of under. And I drunkenly changed my toilet paper the other day, and I put it under, and then I woke up the next morning, and I was like,
You gasped?
know when you're just rolling it? Like, I'm like, where does this start? And then I was like, who put this under? Then I got like so mad, and I was like, oh my God, it must have been my boyfriend, Ryan. And he was like, no, I didn't change toilet paper. And I was like, okay, well.
Well, your
It was a
drunk
cat.
self wanted to fuck over your sober self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I guess I just hate myself. So
It was the
real.
cat.
Like, I was like, I've told you before, put it over. It's so annoying. He's like, I did not do that. And I was like, okay. And right now, my apartment, we're using quilted northern
Oh.
triple ply.
Oh.
wow.
Nice and soft.
That sounds soft.
We like went to Rite Aid, me and my roommate, one day, and then it was like, you get like 400 rolls for like $20. And we were like, great, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we've been working through that. I don't know that I have a preference in toilet paper. Anything that's not single ply, because I think that's barbaric.
Yes.
I like can't. That's just aggressive. And anything that's not like what you get at a public bathroom, like Kimberly
Gotcha.
Clark professional toilet paper, is like I might as well just scratch my asshole.
Side note, when I was in Atlanta, my friend Lix, who flew me down there, which was pretty amazing, for this photo shoot, her sister works at Kimberly Clark. So their whole house is like, I mean, kitted up
Honey.
with Kimberly Clark, everything, like
Kimberly Clark
napkins.
Professional. I
Like,
live.
and I didn't realize how many things they own.
Everything.
It's crazy. But yeah, so
Wow.
there was a lot of Kimberly Clark products in that house.
Ooh, we should interview them.
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh shit, mental notes.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, this also reminds me. So Ellen, because I'm really a podcast fan, guys. I'm sorry. I've been listening really hard the past
No,
couple weeks.
I
But you were
love it.
saying one of your biggest pet peeves is when people don't change the toilet paper roll, they put it on top.
Yes.
And I was at a bar and this happened. And for me, and this is a segue for also Kimberly Clark Professional. This was so sheerly lazy. Sorry, the photo's a little blurry. I was drunk.
It's okay.
No, it's okay.
That I was shocked that this was an employee. So we're just...
Ugh.
The whole full industrial size toilet paper
Yeah.
roll, they just stuck it on top. I don't know if they lost the key to open it.
It almost looks like
Or-
we're looking at right now is a photo of a giant industrial roll of TP over just sitting on top of the actual metal
like,
housing.
yeah.
And it looks like a piece of art almost. It's like it looks like the toilet paper is just kind of like chilling, like it's relaxing, like the legs are like the end of the paper.
But that's not easy. You have to pick that roll up to take it off.
Because I was like, what if someone pulls this, it's going to fall.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
the floor was sopping wet.
Oh.
Yeah, it was disgusting. And I was like,
We have to get that picture, by the way.
oh, yeah. I like peed and I looked over and I was like, I just listened to the episode where you were talking about that. And I was like, the disrespect. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'm going to take a photo of this because I'm going to be able to bring it up.
That was a great segue, actually. That was
Yes, it
genius.
is.
I mean,
Yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve. And I have a lot of them.
it's lazy.
Yeah.
And out of
Laziness
place
might
of
be
work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Laziness is the umbrella that my pet peeves come trickling down from.
Yeah, I feel that. I'm
Yeah.
similar.
Like my other pet peeve is like people who don't fill up the Brita.
Oh,
Yeah.
she must hate me. I never felt
Oh, I'm always here filling up your Brita.
Ellen fills up our Brita more than we do. But we've been using we have a little fish bubbler that we use. Oh, there's cucumber
Yeah, but
water in there.
how did you filter said water before you put it in the fish bubbler?
I just go from the tap, man. We have great water in New York.
That's fine. Get rid of the Brita, though. I mean, I feel like every time I go to somebody's home, I have to be like, what water can I drink? Because I'll drink out of the tap, but people will be like, don't drink that. Do this, do that. And so I'm like, if you're going to have a Brita, keep it full.
Yeah, I know. I just transitioned from the Brita to the like zero something.
Oh.
But it's the one that filters in live time instead of like, because I hate when you fill the Brita and you have to
Yes.
wait.
Yes.
Like I like get lazy and then I'm like, this is only
That's-
quarter full.
that's
'cause I don't have
exactly-
all day. So you just fill the thing and then it like live real time
Yeah.
filters it as you pour it.
Oh.
And
That's
I was
cool.
like, this is brilliant because now
I'm gonna
refilling
have
it
to
is
get
so
that.
easy. You just
look
like,
at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dwayne Reed, it was like $20 and I was like,
Okay.
amazing.
Yeah, that's ugh. And it's just laziness.
It
It's
is.
like if you can pour yourself a glass of water, you can fill up the Brita.
But this takes forever.
Yeah. That's
I'm
why
always sitting there
I
with,
never
like,
did it. I was
have a
like,
separate, because another thing is that it doesn't fit under a sink that's a certain way. Then I gotta like use like a measuring cup to get all the water in there. It drives me nuts.
I agree with you there because I've done it at your
And I'm
house.
like, fuck it.
But I at my house, I have a separate pitcher that I'm constantly just keeping full next to the Brita. And as soon as I pour a glass of water from the Brita, I pour more water
That's
into there.
proactive. I like that.
I'm a very A-type.
Crazy.
I'm an A-type personality.
Like, after a while, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the. I go, why? Let's cut the middleman. This means turn the fucking sink on. Just get the water that way. But anyway.
Do you have any lovely accident stories for us?
Yes.
Especially at work.
Oh, yes. So I was like thinking, so when I was like, I'm going to come on here, like, what's my most embarrassing poop story, like, whatever. So I thought of the first one that came in my head was not work related. It was just like a traumatic incident that happened, and I will like never forget it. But I was driving home when I was home in Florida several years ago, and I had a cold. I wasn't feeling well. And so maybe I might have been in high school. I wasn't feeling well. I was like, I'm going to leave school early. I'm going to go home. And I was driving home from a stop sign, and I sneezed at a red light. I was driving home. I sneezed and I sharted, and I felt it happen. But I was still like 10 minutes from my house. And so I was like, oh no, what do I do? And I used to drive like an old like 1996 Oldsmobile, like the
ooh, nice,
like cloth seats, you know, like I was like, I can't sit in this. This is going to get in the car. So I had to press my non-driving foot into, you know, the like little footrest they give you,
yes,
and to elevate my pelvis off the seat.
And drive home like
and
that?
Drive home in basically a bridge while like trying not to like floor it or like stop short and just be like.
Did you know you had to poo?
Nope.
So you
Full
sneezed
surprise.
and
I like wasn't feeling well. My stomach wasn't feeling well. I was like, I need to go home. I think I might be getting sick, whatever. And I was like, achoo.
Oh.
And then I was like, oh no. So then I'm like horribly bridged up, so uncomfortable. My legs are shaking.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, I get
Fatigued.
there. I get to my dad's house where like he lives in a like luxury condo building, so I have to get to the parking garage. So I park in the parking garage, and then I'm like, I can't walk into the lobby of this building like this. So I'm now next to my car in a public parking garage, like taking off my clothes to try to figure out like what can I wear to get into my. It was so mortifying. And so I think I like took my shirt off and like shimmied it down like a skirt. And I had like a sweater or something that I threw over my, like held my bag and like kind of like shuffled through the building. And I get inside.
Thank God you're a dancer, because you could wear like anything and it's like artsy.
I just was like, here we go. I like get inside. My dad is like, what is happening? And I was like,
you don't want to know.
I was like, I can answer no questions. Like immediately threw the underwear away, like got in the shower and just like cried. I was like so like my legs hurt. I was so embarrassed. And I like finally came out and told my dad, and he laughed so hard. He was like crying while looking me in the face and laughing at me. And I was like, yes, well, here we are. I was like, I'm going to go to bed now.
He was like, please stop. My stomach hurts from letting stop.
Yeah, like he was like, that is incredible.
Did you poo more when you got home?
No.
It was just the one.
Just one was like locked and loaded, and then I was like, I'm gonna have to poop more, and I got inside. Maybe I was just so my body was so traumatized. It was like the poop just like I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to watch you, trying to imagine you driving like in that position. You're just like
my hamstrings were like cramping, but I could not sit back down, and so like we're hitting red, and almost I live off of a street where like you can only drive 30 miles per hour, and it's like they're like the police are always like waiting for you.
Yeah.
So I'm sweating, upset, not feeling well.
Like, why are you sweating?
Legs cramping, like. Don't speed.
Yeah. Oh,
horrible.
No.
Oh my God.
It was quite a moment for me, and I was like, well, this.
I forgot. I just realized your story reminded me 2 days ago, probably from that mulligatawny soup.
Oh.
I was in my office. I'm working on this fucking nightmare project, and I'm like, I gotta fart, and I just kind of just lifted my leg for a second. I farted, but then it was definitely. I'm like, did I shart myself? But then I was like, no, I don't think I did. And then I got up and I went to the kitchen. And I'm like, okay, this feels like just
a little moist,
juicy. I went to the bathroom and it was like this water. But it was like just
like ass sweat.
Yeah, it was like I was so disgusted with myself. Completely just happened. Like it was just, you know, and I'm in my brain, I'm like, you didn't just do that as an adult.
Well, my boyfriend always gets the bidet water stuck up there, and he sharts that out.
This was not bidet. I told myself it was but it was definitely. I'm like, oh yeah, that's. It's time to take a shower now and change this.
Well, sometimes you get like swamp ass from like sitting for so long, like your butt's just like sweaty. I've had that feeling where I'm like, my ass feels really wet, but I know I didn't, and then I'm just like, no, I'm just sweating.
No, this was a shart. So.
Yeah.
I needed to come clean with that. I just forgot about it until you just mentioned it.
You feel better now.
Yes, I feel cleansed.
No, that happened to me on a lot of our check-ins over the summer. Swamp ass, I thought I was sharding, and I'd run to the bathroom and there was nothing there, and I was like, oh, it's just ass sweat.
Yeah.
Still very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, working in XIV and performing in thongs all the time, it's like your ass is sweating. And then I'm like, okay, well, this thong is wet. And then I'm like, but, you know, so to preface this, work related, for me, like, I always get stage fright before I perform. I always have. And for me, that has always manifested as like, I get like bubble guts. And so I always have to pre-show poop. Always. Like, I perform unwell if I have not pooped.
Yeah.
Or if I don't, it like comes back to haunt me. So like, I have a like pre-show ritual. So like, you came to see Nutcracker, and like before I go up and sit on the bar with the whole thing, I like stand in a hallway. Oh my God, I hope no one hears this. Whatever. I stand in a hallway, and the three things happen. I always yawn, I fart, and I burp. It's like always. It's like I'm like, get it out, get the air out, let's move. And so like, it's just always, it's a thing. But like last year doing Nutcracker, I did Spanish, and my costume was these like, they were tailor-made like white satin pants, and I would stand backstage and I was like, don't you dare fart. So I'd be standing back there knowing, I'm like, I have to fart, this is like pre-show ritual, and I was like, you cannot chance it. And I would just be sitting there like, oh. So I'd be like, maybe just a burp will do it. It never did. And I would just be like
meditating.
I'm like just squeezing my butt cheeks, like wait until the curtain comes up, and because once you start moving, you know, you forget about it. But I've had so many instances where I've been like on stage and be like, I'm gonna shit my pants, just like sitting waiting and be like, oh my God, I'm
oh my God.
And then you finally get a break, which we never get breaks in the show, and I'm like barreling to the bathroom, like looking cute in my heels, running. But just the other day, one of the last shows, I just finished bartending, the show started, or was about to start, and I was like, I'm gonna go pee. So I'm just standing peeing, shart.
Oh,
because you know, like you pee and sometimes you fart, like,
yeah,
whatever.
In your thong?
Yep. So I farted, and then it like, but like I caught it fast enough that it was like I like went to fart, and I was like, no, but I got like a splash. It was like, so it touched enough that I was like, oh no,
it was a little kiss.
So I was like, I looked at the thong, and there was like a moment, and I was like, shit. And I was like, well, I have a clean one upstairs, like in my desk, and let me just take it off now. So I had to wait I'm in the bathroom just waiting for the show to start so that I know there's no one in the little staff bathroom we have. So I'm like, do. So then I'm in the sink, like trying to quickly wash it, trying to have enough time to make my way upstairs to change. So I have the thong like shoved in my hand. I get upstairs, Lillian sitting next to me because she had a late entrance like me. And she's like, are you okay? And I was like, well, no, I just sharted in my thong. And she bursts into laughing, like uncontrollably laughing. And I'm like, and so I'm like putting on my new one and just like trying to act like nothing's happened. Everyone's like, what? Why are you changing so late? And I was like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
I had
you don't need to know about this.
And everyone's like, yeah. And I was like, okay.
That must happen a lot, though. It's gotta happen.
I feel like it does, and people don't admit.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I think people don't admit it, but it's gotta happen a lot.
But you know, but
like when you're wearing a thong, it's so close to your asshole versus normal underwear.
You're wearing like a fucking like string.
Yeah.
So I get it. Sometimes you take them off and they're just not as clean as you want them to be not because anything happened, because it's like rubbing against your colon as you dance.
Yeah.
And I'm like there are days where I'm like, this song is so deep inside of me. Like, because you wear a bass one, and then you have the sparkle one on top, and then we layer all the costumes on top of that. And it's just like, some days I'm like, I'm like, A, I'm wearing 4 thongs, and B, the first one, and I have melted. Like, we are.
It's part of your body now.
We are close. Double show days, you're like, I've had the song on for so many hours. It's the worst. But yeah, and you know, like, you just have to be smart about, like, I am not a sap. Well, even though from listening to the podcast, I found out that wet wipes are bad.
Yes. I mean, in a case of emergency, I think it's every day it's bad.
Yeah, I think if you're like digging up there like constantly.
I don't like dig, but I like would be like, you know, you poop at work, and then I would always have them because I'm like, my asshole's about to be 3 inches away from something. So I'm like, let's keep it fresh.
I agree with you on that. I think there's exceptions to the rule. I would probably do something very similar.
Yeah,
I mean, like, overall, if you use them constantly and then you find out you're having butthole problems like fissures and stuff, that's when you should most definitely
stop. Yeah, I've been okay on that aspect. I like to know I'm going to be clean, because it's really so close to
if it's part of your preparation, is mentally, and like you said, like your ass is like in front of people, so it's like you might as well just, you know, freshen up back there.
I don't know if you heard my exam episode.
Yes, I just listened to that yesterday.
Thank you. But he when he saw my asshole, he said it was beautiful, but he also saw like the trauma that it's been through. And I think a lot of the Dave.
Trauma, the abuse.
But I
Sounds
use
like, please
baby
take me with
wipes.
you.
I use baby wipes for a minimum of like 15, 20 years. Just not being a baby, but being an adult. So yeah, I mean that trauma could be.
I mean, we used them a lot. I was like, this is change. This is a game changer.
I remember the
When
first
those came out,
time.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I remember the first time I saw it in my mom's because my mom had her own separate bathroom, and I went and pooped in there, and I was like, what the hell? She's not a baby. There's no babies around here. And I was like, oh, that's why she uses these. And I was like, so many light bulbs went off.
Yeah, the little flushable wipes.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, we used to call them booty wipes back in the day.
Yeah.
And we always use them, but it was like, I'm like, I just don't. And I will actively say this to people, I'm like, I just don't trust people that don't.
Yes.
Do like, I just feel like
Or
you're
have
walking
a
around with a
bidet.
dirty butt. And I don't like that.
Yes. Or
For
at the very
myself
least
or
have
for
a bidet.
others. Yeah. Well, now I've been hearing you guys talk about, oh my God, I've been hearing you guys talk about the tushy a lot. So now that's my next.
Yeah, I mean, that really is. I mean, I say it all the time, but it's great. It's a game changer.
I have the squatty potty. I have the poopery. My dad has given me all these things. Like for Christmas one year, he was like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "I want a squatty potty." And he was like, "Bless." Sent me a squatty potty. He sent me like poopery. He was like, "Sent me all this stuff." He's like, "It's gonna be great." And I was like, "Love." So now I feel like the tushy is the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full.
When I was in Atlanta, there was no tushy. There was no.
You didn't bring
bidet.
your travel bidet?
I forgot.
Oh.
I was so pissed. I'm like, I got there. I'm like, I think I forgot something. And I went to take a shit. I'm like, oh yeah, the travel bidet.
I literally own 2 travel bidets. One does not leave my purse, and the other is with my like travel.
Wait, how small are they?
Oh, it's tiny. I'll show you.
Oh my God.
Actually, when you come back, can you grab me that water?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your bubbler.
My bubbler.
I love one doesn't leave my purse. This is amazing. I'm learning so much.
Well, there was a buy one get one free, I think, at one point.
Well, one of them I got.
We got from the.
I got from ButtCon.
Yeah.
But I literally, I don't know if it's an episode that came out or not yet, but I just bought this new purse, and I was in the store making sure that everything fit in there that I needed to, and the travel bidet was the most important part. But this is it. And then it like collapses.
Oh, so you just.
Yep. And so you fill it up
it's
with
more
water.
manual, like the travel days, but
And then
it's
it has 3 little teeny holes, and you just squirt your butthole. But I literally have one that stays in my purse at all times, and then the other one stays in my dog kit, my travel dog kit, so I don't forget it. So I sometimes when I travel, I have 2 on me.
That's
but at
brilliant.
least
I'm like fully shook. Like I really. That
also
is,
it's got the little carabiner.
yeah. Oh, which when I was in
clip to the waistband and go.
When I was in Boston, I had a much smaller purse because I just wanted to pack light, and I literally had the carabiner just hanging off the side of my purse because I had it. Even though I was constipated the whole time I was in Boston, there was like this feeling of like, what if I do have to poo while I'm out?
Okay,
I was really angry at myself.
I just keep them where you're supposed to have them. Keep it nearby.
Yeah, that's smart. Keep it in my locker.
Yes. Have one in all your places. Have one at home, one in your bag, one in your locker.
Yeah, because I travel everywhere with the wipes, which aren't, not amazing, but they're like in my little kit that I carry with my like deodorant and my concealer and everything else I carry with me on a daily basis because you never know.
I think the wipes are great. I mean, if you're out in the field, you need something to like clean up. I mean, fuck it.
We've talked about he runs a lot. Porta potties doesn't have running water in them, so he can't fill up his portable bidet. So
not with anything you'd want.
Yeah.
No. Oh no.
No, but I'm saying like
that would be my worst nightmare.
You should totally be using wipes there.
Yeah, completely.
Just use wipes sparingly because you don't want to fuck up your asshole like I have.
Yeah.
Learn from my mistakes, people.
Yeah, you never know when you're out and it's just a messy Nessie, as you say, because sometimes it just strikes. You're like, oh, I just have to poop, and you sit down and you're like, well.
My new biggest fear now is just like thinking about that. If we ever do Dr. Evan, I guess it'll be my turn to do the butt exam. Like, I'm afraid he's gonna be like, oh my God, he's gonna gasp and be like, what is going on back here? I'm like, Doc, was it ignorance is bliss? Like, I don't want to know.
Yeah, our 2nd year anniversary, you're getting your butt exam.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And you can frame your anoscope.
Yes.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
I kept my anal scope, the non-used one, because he gave me one as like a parting gift. Like, at least I got something out of it. But I kept it in my old purse, and I was showing everybody. I was like, so this was in my ass.
Of course you did.
And people are like, why are you keeping it there? And I'm like, it's just easier.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to tell a story.
I need to show everybody this. This is in my
And
butt.
one friend of mine was like, oh my God, I just had one of those in my butt. She didn't show me what it looked like. It's much bigger than I thought. And I was like, well, your butt is more accommodating.
Right.
Yeah, clearly.
She's like, I didn't even notice. Thought it was a Q-tip.
Oh my God. Have you ever seen anybody like
Yes,
in a
I've been.
performance like just totally shit them? I guess shit themselves like during a performance or
I
like
have a story for this.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, not
yeah.
shit themselves, but okay. This is one of the things I wrote down. So I was working an event, and we were hired as performers at this event. And during it, there was like a go-go set that happened before we went on, and they had asked a couple of the performers that we were with, the group, to carry the prop on for the next performer. And so they're carrying this bathtub on stage, and there's two people go-going, and one of them is like on all fours, like twerking. And so I see my boyfriend and my friend who are carrying the bathtub stop and are staring at this performer, and I'm like, what are they, like, put the bathtub down, what are they doing? And they're looking at each other and looking back at the performer, looking mortified, and they come back off stage, and I was like they're in full, we're also all in full view, like we can see them, and I was like, what's happening? And they were like, the performer, there's poop. And I was like on their thong, and they were like, no, like on their butt cheek.
Oh.
There was just a piece of poop stuck on their butt cheeks as they're out in a thong.
How did they not feel that?
So what we were trying to decide is, was it intentional? Because it's a nightlife gig. You know, you never know. People are into what they're into. But like, did they intentionally put that there? Or did they poop, it splashed up, and had no idea?
Oh my
I'm gonna go with the bladder, just because that sounds like a better story. They just didn't know. They're like, "What is this thing in my ass?"
But
And
how
we're
do
like-
you not feel that?
And we're like, don't let them roll on the ground. Like, don't sit. Do not put that on there. We have to go dance.
You guys are
on
doing
this.
hand signals like, "Don't."
We're like, what? And we're all just watching, and they got up, and it was just still on, just like kind of smeared on their butt cheek.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I was like,
My jaw is so on the ground right now.
I'll never forget that.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That is unbelievable, man.
I was like, and like they were, and we're all like looking for it, and they came back and we're like, I can't believe. And I was like,
That's
and I've seen the
horrible.
performer since, and every time that's all I can think of.
Oh, of course.
Right, yeah, it's like the girl who shit on Flavor of Love.
Yeah.
She will always be known as the girl who shit on Flavor of Love.
That's it.
Oh, that is really. Another side note: I just bought this album from this comedian Moshe Kasher.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like a crowd work thing where they just goes into the audience, and that's the whole show. And one of them is this guy talking about like, there's like, anybody got any crazy sex stories? And it's like, yeah, this guy's like talking about how he's doing 69 with this girl. She was kind of like wild, and she's like, yeah, baby, this is gonna be hot. And he's like, okay, cool. He's like, just lay back here and do all the work. And now her ass is like near his face. And he's like, okay, I'm just gonna hang back. And then all of a sudden he's like, I close my eyes and I feel this warm. And he's like, she shit on my chest. Yeah. And she's like, oh my God, what the fuck? I'm so sorry. It's like, and it just kind of happened. It's
But
like,
they were 69ing? So
Yeah.
It would be.
no, he was laying down. He had his head down on the ground, but he wasn't like doing anything. He just like was like, she's like, you just lay back for a minute.
Oh.
I'm gonna like, I'll do all the work for now. She's like, okay. And like he had his head back and he's just kind of chilling, and he's like, next thing you know, and she's.
Oh my
I think
God. She's like, lay down after.
He's like, no,
I'm gonna fart.
I'm
and
sorry,
sneak it
I'm
out.
getting the joke wrong. Oh my God, she shit on his chest, and then he was like, she was like doing her business, and he's like smacking her ass, like, get the fuck off me. She's like, oh, I thought guys like freaky stuff like this. He's like, they don't like shit in their chest.
No.
I saw a meme like that this morning
God,
that said,
it's horrible.
women are supposed to pee after sex. Men probably should too,
I
if
always
you
have
can.
to.
Yeah, but women really should, because it helps to like clean out all
Yeah.
the stuff. You can get UTIs and whatever. But I saw a meme that said, pee after sex, let's kill two birds with one stone. Meaning like the guy wanted to get pissed on during sex.
That's pretty funny though.
Yeah, I'm not into the whole Cleveland steamer thing.
No.
Me either.
That's really
No.
not. The scat fetish, I don't. Not a judgment like your freak flat. Like, I'm not going to king shame anyone. I just am I just don't get it. Like I'm always like, no.
Yeah,
That
my brain
seems
doesn't work that way.
And also the smell of
The
it is
smell
like so off-putting
would-
for me.
Would wreck me.
Yeah, we've
Right.
talked about that a lot. That
Yeah.
the smell is.
And like even being a gay man and having anal sex and whatever, like sometimes things happen, but like that for me is so different than someone like intentfully squatting and
you're
being
not
like,
going in and you're not going to the party being like, all right, someone's shitting on me. Like you're not like, it's just, it's not like you're just like, that's on the menu tonight, right? Like
I feel like I would just cry in the shower and be like, oh my god, what's that movie? It's like dirty.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
sobbing and like just never. I'd never be the same.
When people talk about that stuff, like scat stuff, I'm always like, man, I am boring. Like I just like I just think like, wow, I think I have a pretty good sex life. My shit is not. I'm like, you're right, we're in the fringe, but whatever. To each their own.
Exactly. I'm like, all right, sure. Hey,
yeah, you do you.
I'm not gonna yuck your yum.
You do poo.
You do poo.
Yeah. Just do it in your home, your place.
Keep it away from me.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
and then
cool.
is that like a rubber sheet type thing, like where people pee as well? Like, because what?
I know there is.
Throw it away.
I do know that there are those kind of sheets that are like super rubberized. That's like a fitted sheet.
Yeah.
I've heard that from a couple people, like sexperts. But I don't know if that's for like somebody who squirts a lot or likes water sports.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
Roman showers, all the rest of that.
Because that just seems like it will destroy your mattress.
Yeah.
And that's like a long term.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Consequence.
Poor mattress.
I mean, you're a male dancer, but you have friends who are female dancers,
Yeah,
and
totally.
to me, all dancers are very like svelte bodies, and you know how everybody's into that tummy tea now that flattens your tummy, which it's just smooth move.
Yeah.
Have you heard any accidents in that regard?
No, a lot of the dancers I know aren't like that type of like. Yes, there's felt another, but a lot of them are like, we do Pilates, we do it. Like it's more natural than like tummy tea. I feel like tummy tea is for like.
Because I had a main
want to be influencers.
Yeah,
I never even heard of this thing.
Oh yeah, it's a big. But they
Clearly,
make
I've
it
never heard
sound
of
like
this.
you're gonna lose like 5 pounds in a week, and
Wow,
it's like yeah,
Jesus.
because you're literally shitting out pure water because
Yeah.
it's just laxative tea.
You like do that, and you're like waist trainer, and you're like,
Yeah.
I'm so skinny, and I'm like, it's water weight. Like,
Yeah.
But I had a mainstream model that right before Fashion Week, this was like 20 years ago, she would tell me how she would always do like smooth move to lose that couple extra pounds for Fashion Week. And I was like, sounds not so good.
Yeah, that sounds crazy to me.
Yeah.
But hey.
The one time I've had a black eye was thanks to smooth move.
I think you said black guy. The one time I had a black guy.
both, you know what? Both of them.
I was
are,
like, wait,
both
what?
stories are ones I want to hear. You know,
I
I'm
was like, I was so confused by those statements.
No, a black eye.
Gotcha.
I got a black eye. This is like 8 years ago.
Here's black guy. I'm sorry.
I did smooth move, shit 6 times, went out to a bar, had a bunch of cocktails, and I went to get on my bike, and I was so wasted because there was nothing in my stomach to soak up all the cocktails that I literally got on my bike and just pop. Just totally fell over like a tree in the woods, landed on my face and my knee blew up so big, and I had a black eye because I literally landed on my face.
I didn't know where the story was going to go.
Yeah.
This was good. Like I was like
where
were
is
you
this-
like trying to get a smooth move in the grocery store, and the bitch was like, it's mine. Just clocked you.
Yeah,
And like,
I was so confused with that.
But I was like, the first year I was dating Gerald, and so many people were looking at him like, you fucking asshole.
If Tiny ever
Had a black eye?
I'd be like, I would never go out in public with her because I'm like, they're gonna look at me and be like,
I had like 3 friends who took me aside like, do you need help? And I was like,
blink-
no.
blink once.
I literally did it to myself, and I blame smooth move.
They get home, they're like, Ellen says get a black. It's like, but what I think what's really happening over there is, he's like, no, I swear to
Yeah,
God.
Gerald was like, I'm Puerto Rican, right? Like everybody's gonna point their fingers at
Yes.
me, and I was like, oh my God.
you're like, you didn't hit me. I was drunk. And I was like, sure.
Yeah, look at
Sure
Tiny,
you
look
were.
at me. If I'm on the subway, like standing next to people, and be like, yeah, see, this is. So I would be like, look, I hate to say this, but until that eye goes away, I'm not going out
you're
with
on
you
your
in
own.
public at all. So just FYI.
So-
But oh my God, that's took a weird turn right there.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. Being a dancer, I feel like sometimes you end up with the most like gnarly bruises or cuts or things, and people are like, what happened? And I'm like,
You're like, I don't know.
you're like, I don't like. I have this like gash on my forearm that looks like someone took a
Oh,
knife to
shit.
me from a rhinestone. that I didn't even notice. I got home and got in the shower and was like, and looked down. I was like, oh,
it looks like you have suicide
gashed
scars.
open. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I was like,
From a rhinestone?
someone was like, is that your cat? And I was like, literally, I was partnering someone and a rhinestone was like half off and just like sliced my arm open. And I was like,
wow.
Oh. Didn't notice for hours.
Well, good rhinestones are made out of glass, right?
And the edges are always so
Yeah,
sharp.
yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah. And so like people are like, what's happening to you? And I'm like, working at XIV, you would end up with I have so many scars and things. People are like,
Oh,
what is
sure.
that from? And I'm like,
You're like,
couldn't
I don't
tell
know.
you. It could be a myriad of things, like a person, an applique, it could be anything. I'm like, I don't know. Does it hurt? Not really.
You're like, do my job for one night and you'll see what happens to your body.
I have a burn mark on my back because I slid and landed on a light bulb and it burned me.
Oh.
Like just things like that were I
Yeah.
was like sitting down, like slid and went too far and was like, and I'm off the stage. And I was like, ow, my back. And someone was like, yeah, you have a burn mark. And I was like,
have you ever been to the slipper room?
you know, I have not. I was supposed to go last night, but I didn't go.
Oh, I
'cause
wanted
was
to go
tired.
last night or 2 nights ago for boys' night, but I had so much work to catch up on. But the glasses at Slipper Room are all plastic. The wine glasses, the
Smart.
cocktail glasses, because Evil Hate Monkey told us the story that he basically swung onto the stage and like smashed into glass and it ripped his entire ass apart and he had to go to the emergency room. Oof. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oof.
But he goes, because of me, they switched all the glasses to plastic.
It's smart, and you save money because people love to smash glasses.
Oh,
when you
completely.
came back to people the tables fall, people shatter
Mm-hmm.
all the glasses. I'm like, that was an entire case of wine glasses
Yeah.
in one night.
Gone. Oof.
Yeah, and the plastic's not as classy, but at least it's taken care of and nobody gets hurt.
Everybody's drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the
They don't
third
give a
drink, they're
shit.
like, nah. They're like,
Can you believe this? This vessel that I'm drinking out of?
right.
So, floor versus pants.
Oh, you know, this is a hard one. I was listening to other people's, what they would say about this, and I
know I'm always torn.
I think context, like situationally, is important, but I feel like also like what's the amount of shit?
It's totally like, that's the thing. The context is the place, the amounts, the whatever. I mean, we know it's a Bristol 7 because you never
Right.
have to like rabbit pellet when you have to go that badly.
So we know
But-
it's a puddle. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say floor.
Yeah. That's what I would
Yeah.
say. Most people think pick floor.
Yeah.
Because I just, it'd be like a bridesmaid, like, look away, I'm shitting in the street. Like,
Yeah.
if you saw someone just on the floor, just like letting have, just like doo-doo fountaining, I would be like, oh, but I'm not about to be like, what's wrong with you? I'd be like, oh, okay, let's just leave this part. Let's keep going, honey.
Yeah. I mean, because also if that's coming into your pants, you have to go back home or wherever home is or somewhere because you're
What are you
fucked.
supposed to slosh around and like where?
I mean, it would suck getting back, but I don't even know how you do that. You probably have to do the trick you did with like putting your shirt
just
around
like
your...
shimmying things down.
Because you couldn't hail a cab or an Uber. I would definitely not get an Uber. I'd get a cab at the very least. Because a subway would be a disaster.
No. Yeah.
There's
Just waiting around for a
Do
subway
you have to
with
like
that?
tie the bottom of your pants in like knots to like hold it all in? Also, like, because otherwise that's just coming down.
Put the socks like, around your... That's some kind of weird like minor or something.
Oh my god. Oh
Yeah, that would be bad.
That whole outfit is ruined.
Yeah.
The shirt too, just for trauma reasons. Like you're done.
Why I can't shit my pants or why I haven't shit my pants in public like that is when I saw that one guy I talked about in the show a long time ago. The dude in the subway, he had white pants on, like I mean linen. It's like summer, and he shit down. All was coming down the side of his leg onto his sneaker, and I lost my shit. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like that can't happen to me.
No. I have to pee.
Okay, of course.
Of course.
So we're back after the pee breaks.
Yes. One last thing. This episode's going to come out way after, but the Oscars are tomorrow, and a friend of mine posted something about, did you see the Parasite toilet? And all I thought was an actual parasite coming out of a toilet, and I was like, ugh, no. And then I was like, oh, she's talking about the scene in the movie
Yeah.
Parasite.
So we recapping. You said that you like over. You're not really don't really care about brand loyalty with TP.
Yeah, just nothing thin.
For sure, floor.
For sure, floor.
The last question is, and you started it, we were recording, and I know you'll edit this part in, but your dad, you text him.
I was like, I'm doing this. He was like, oh my God, are you on it? True story from today. I had to bring a poop and pee sample to the doctor today in my new Tesla. He was closed. Now sitting in a bag while I show luck. I'm 60.
Where is he?
In Florida.
Oh, I was
where I grew
about
up.
to say, where's the AC? Because it's cold.
That is hilarious.
He's like, you're doing that today? True story.
In my Tesla?
I'm like,
He's like, what do I do with this?
I was like, cool.
But do you have any childhood memories? Or did your parents tell you a story about you pooping and farting as a kid?
I asked and they were like, no, you didn't really. They're like, aside from like pooping outside, like you had to go to the bathroom like in a park and we just like hid you in a bush. They were like, you didn't really have any like crazy stories like that. And I was like,
so you picked floor when you were a child.
Yeah.
Because you knew.
My parents were like, it's a long day. Go over there.
Yeah. Also, we're not dealing with this now. So you're going to have to like
here, unclip your little overalls. Hit it. I'm like, okay.
And you have overalls on now.
I do. You know, some things never change. Although these going to the bathroom is the worst. And I wore these yesterday to a bar too because I woke up this morning and just threw it back on. And nothing like being in a public bathroom as an adult and realizing that you have to go to the urinal like fully through the hole. And I was in the bathroom and it was so small. And I was like, God damn it. So I'm like trying to secretly fish my thing off. It was so dumb. People were just staring at me and I was like, I can't do this right now.
I've seen these like crazy pictures on Tumblr or like just random things of drunk people at bars. And then like you see the one dude with like his pants all the way down on the floor at the urinal.
Horrible.
And like if I walked in, I just imagine myself walking and seeing that scene and like slowly closing the door back and walking out.
It like brings back like horrible like elementary school. Like you open the door and you're like, and there's a naked child. Like I just
like why?
I hate that. And I'm like holding it like to the side so that I can like not have to be fully pantsless.
Yes.
I hate. Also, I would not want my overalls to touch
exactly
the no.
Or anything.
Yeah. In a men's bathroom in New York City.
Oh my God. So I was walking. This is another thing that just happened recently, but like I see it when I close my eyes. I was walking at 34th Street to get on the NQR, and you know how like some subway stations have bathrooms, but the doors are always locked. I've never seen them open.
Yes. We are investigating this. New York Times actually did a fantastic article about it, that how a lot of the subways had bathrooms, but there's like pretty much only 6 out of the like.
Yeah, they did like 6 or 7 stations they visited.
Yeah.
And the bathroom I saw.
The door was open?
Both of them were open. The men's, I could smell from seeing it. I was as close as I am to that toaster oven.
About 20 feet, people.
I could smell it. The women's bathroom, from what I could see, there was just caution tape.
Oh my God.
In a lot of places.
Interesting.
And I was like, what the fuck? So I had to get a little closer because I was like, I'm sorry,
like
what the fuck
people
is happening?
Murdered?
And I like just like looked over at the bathrooms. The only way to adequately clean those, from what I saw, would be to take a flamethrower as a power washer. Like I was like, how? And people were in them.
Wow.
And I was like, who? Why? No.
Yeah. I want another story.
That is my rock bottom.
Yeah.
Taking a piss or shit at a fucking MTA bathroom.
Just walking into that bathroom. I like got close enough to like
just question your life.
Nothing. You would only get dirtier from washing your hands in there.
Oh yeah.
Like I wouldn't think about it without getting a tetanus shot. It was atrocious. And I was like, if this is what they all look like, keep them locked.
Yeah.
Start small fires in there.
Yeah. Or hire somebody like in European or even like Asian cities I've been to, those kind of bathrooms you have to put like 50 cents in, and there's a human being there who's making sure shit stays clean.
Yes.
You know, do that to these kind of. I would totally pay 50 cents for a nice public bathroom in New York City.
Yeah, easy.
Totally.
I get a fucking bathroom pass, like a fucking Metro card. I'm like, yeah.
Because that was, oh my God. I was like, it hasn't been cleaned in a decade.
Oh,
easily. Like I was like, that is mortifying.
One of the bathrooms I always like to mention that the Times did. I forgot which station it was in, but in the women's bathroom,
125th.
Maybe, yeah. There was in the women's bathroom. They had this, those giant industrial radiators right next to the toilet, and I guess someone was in there with like food, like a Chinese takeout, and just put it next to the in between the wall and the radiator to keep it warm while they were taking a shit. Forgot about it, and then the whole thing just caught fire. And then there was a giant flame mark where the fucking food was. And the bathroom attendant guy was like, "Oh yeah, that happens all the time." So now there's a big sign that says like, "Do not leave food on the radiator."
But you know, though, so it's like Union Square Station has the police officers like whole. It's like an office. Where do they pee and poop?
They must have one in there.
They have to, right?
There's no way they're going like at the MTA bathroom
because there's no public bathroom in Union Square.
I mean, but do the MTA employees have to use those bathrooms, or do they stay locked because they use those bathrooms so they don't want other people to use them?
Maybe.
I would, if I had the keys for that place, that should stay unlocked.
Because from what I saw at the 34th Street station, I would get up and walk a mile to pee somewhere before I would go in there.
But you know how like you'll see piss bottles all over New York City because taxi cab drivers, because they'll be like 8 hours in a taxi, so they'll just piss in a bottle. Like, I'm wondering about people who run the actual trains, because they've got to be in there for hours, and there's no bathroom.
That whole union thing, they probably have to go a certain time for them to get like mandatory breaks or something.
I feel like when they get to the end of the line, they get like a, because it always
you're going all the way to the end of the line. And my friend's an MTA worker, and like it's crazy.
We need to interview him.
He just started becoming a train driver, but I can get him on,
please, because I want to know his horror stories, and he's heard some stories.
He started like probably 2 months ago, where he's like actually driving the train by himself now.
No, but I'm saying like he
Sure.
You know that there are MTA meetings, and they're like, I just saw some disaster. I mean, for all the guests we've had on in the year and the disasters you've seen, like there must. I mean, you know how like you even talked about this before, not on the podcast, but like how many suicides happen in the subway. Yeah. Not just that, how many shits happen. Like it's got to be daily.
Yeah. By the minute. Like think about how many trains there are. All the people that are on these trains and that live in this city, there's happening right now. Someone's taking a massive
and it's not just
shit.
Homeless people. It's like
I watched someone squat and shit between the
cars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Our friend Ginger, she was on a train where someone was like pacing back and forth. The train was stuck for like 45 minutes, and they were tracing back and forth. And the guy is like, he just was like, you could tell he was trying to hold it in. He's like, fuck it. He just pulled his pants down, leaned up against the door on a crowded, stalled train, and just shit all over the door.
Did he open the door?
No, he didn't. So this is the best part. The doors opened like 5 minutes later. He had waited so long.
But 45 minutes being stuck.
But you can't be.
That's rough.
And talk about nervous shit.
I mean, I was kind of like, you can't be mad at that guy. I mean, he tried. Like, he was, every bit of willpower to like not do that. But he's like, this happened. He chose floor.
He chose door.
He chose door and floor. And she was like, yeah, the doors opened like 5 minutes later. I was like, ooh. It was like it creeped into the station enough where the doors wouldn't open, and the train just like shimmied another couple of feet, and the door opened. It's like, are you fucking kidding me, man? And he was stuck in the train. All those people were probably like,
this poor man.
I feel bad for this guy, because he's probably like, this is. I have a theory that if you shit in public in front of people like that, like something like so horrific,
you have PTSD.
I think that you become one of these people you see on the streets talking like this. You go crazy because you're like, oh my god.
Or does it open a door where you just don't give a fuck anymore? Now
you're maybe
like my dad who farts everywhere.
That's like some villains. That's like some villains story. Like that's how they're like how they became like took a shit in the fucking 2 train.
That's the scene of the Joker you haven't seen.
Yeah. He's like, this fucking city. Oh my god.
I love that as an origin story.
Yeah.
Everyone would be like, I understand this villain.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'd be like, hey man, we've all been there.
Yeah.
I mean, if I took a shit in between trains, I'd become an asshole.
Yeah. You lose a piece of your soul.
Yeah, a little bit of you dies.
Oh my god. Do you have anything else in your notes? Otherwise we can go into Let's Get Shitty.
I have. Okay, so we were saying about how once you say you're doing this, how all your friends want to tell you shit stories. And my friend told me one that I am going to tell because it made me laugh so hard. They were like, I promise I'd keep them anonymous. They were like, so this is,
You're like, rhymes with Ted. No.
This is exactly how it was set up, which was the best part. They were like, so you know how sometimes you live in an apartment where there's only one bathroom? And I was like, okay. This is not all right. And I was like, okay. And they were like, and your roommate is like taking forever in the shower. I'm like, okay. And they're like, and you have to poop and you're running out of time and it gets really bad. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, so you're like, I'm going to shit. I'm going to do it right now. And you're like, okay. And then you think, well, we have a cat. Finish the story there. I was like,
That's what they said.
I said, I'm sorry, did you shit in the litter box? And they were like, yes. And I thought it was brilliant. They're like, well,
You have to play that sound bite from Bob's post.
Oh, yes. Hold on.
No, you're not the only one who
I have
whose
something for you.
friend has shit in a cat box. So
I mean, it's kind of smart. Like,
Yes.
thinking about it, I'm like, better than like in a bag and then trying to do something. Like, I'm like,
or a pot or a pan or
yeah,
something
I'm
that
like,
you cook in.
I was like, did you immediately change it? And they're like, yes. They had already had a lining. I picked it up. I threw it out. And I was like, I also just imagined, like, I was like, so were you squatted over this litter box?
That would be the hardest thing for me.
And they were like, no, it was like raised up.
Oh, that's
I was
good.
like, okay, that's smart.
Okay, I'm going to play this. And this is something a friend of ours, Bob, had sent or linked us to on Facebook. And I ripped the audio yesterday. And this is so perfect for the story you brought to us because this fits right in. So it's a little garbled, but we'll talk about it after. So let's see if I can get this to play. Okay, here we go.
Accidentally clogged my boyfriend's toilet, so I took the poop out and put it in his cat's litter box. Then he asked if I pooped in it. I said no, but he said his cat has been dead for a week. Please pick me up.
So it was just the audio. First of all, let me set this up. The video that I saw, the video we saw looked like a 911 call, like when they play back on the news, like some horrific accident. The one was like, "Can you please come pick me up?" Yeah, I clogged my boyfriend's toilet, scooped it out, threw it into the litter box, and then the boyfriend was like, "Did you shit in my litter box?" He's like, "No, the cat didn't. The cat had been dead
For a week. What? How do you even
Can you please come
respond?
pick me up?"
Must not be that's her boyfriend. They can't be dating that long because he didn't talk about the cat being dead
Yeah.
for the
Right.
past week.
But how shocked would you? You're like, did you shit in the litter box? She's like, no. What? And like, the cat's been dead for a week. What do you do?
I mean, you leave. That's why she's calling her friend to come pick her up, which I'm like,
I'm like, well, why is the litter box
do
still
you have
out?
Uber? Yeah, that's the other thing. Why's the litter box still out? Maybe he's like still processing.
That's like Rose Martin's story with George Clooney. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
George, so this is way back when his career was first starting. There's like this urban legend about George Clooney, but if you like Google into it, he like kind of backs it up. But he was staying at a friend's house where the cat litter was in the room that he was staying in. And so every day he cleaned the cat litter, but he wasn't telling his friend he was cleaning it. And so his friend was like, "Is the cat using the litter?" He's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "But there's no poop." And he's like, "I don't know. I see the cat using it." So he was like sneakily like cleaning it for his friend, but so the friend was like, "Oh my god, my cat's sick." And then on the last day, George Clooney left a huge human shit in the cat litter.
Well worked.
So good. I know. I thought that was hilarious.
Because he's like a prankster like that.
I'm like, can we please get him on the show to confirm that?
He's like, yes, I did.
Yeah. That's all. It's I'm like, talk to his agent and be like, all you have to do say is, yes, I did.
we
That's
could
it.
go to a red carpet and bombard him.
I'm like, I have zero questions about your acting. Did you do this? And then like, he's like, yes, I did. I'm like, thank you. Easiest interview
40
ever.
years ago.
Yeah, 40 years ago. He's like, what? Yes. I'm like, done. I'm like, I have no further questions for this witness.
Oh my god, thank you. I'm done.
Yeah.
Oh
They're
my
like,
God.
who the fuck was that? George, over here.
Hi, it's Dave and Ellen from Hey Poopy
Yeah.
Podcast. We have a question for you.
We don't.
I think you guys should go to every red carpet event.
Oh my
God.
God, that'd be hilarious.
I would love that.
They're like, wait, I thought you guys filmed my movie. I'm like, you have a movie out? What?
Tell me how many times did you shit on this movie?
Oh my God.
Like we saw in this that you pooped. Were you actually pooping?
Yes.
Are you
So-
full method?
Yeah, you're like, what kind of toilet paper over and
Yeah.
over?
Yeah, James Franco has that story when he did one of his like, because he's gotten to many colleges and now he's a professor at NYU and stuff. Like, yeah,
course.
whatever. But he did a student film where he wanted somebody pooping on it, but the actor he like hired to poop couldn't do it, so James Franco did it himself. So it's like when you're watching the poop come out, it's like his own poop or somebody's poop. Something had to do.
All
It was
right,
not
well,
stunt poop.
No,
Not stunt poop.
Real poop.
Can you just lodge this up and just shoot it out for us?
Yeah, just pack it up in there.
Yeah.
It's his fucking brownie mix anyway. Oh my God. Well, first of all, those were great stories.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you so
for bringing
much.
it.
Thank you.
We love notes, and you had so many awesome.
I was like, I didn't want to forget anything to
nuggets.
say.
No,
Yeah.
thank you. I love that stuff. Well, we're gonna get in. Whoa, that was. I got all excited about that.
You did.
We're gonna go into Let's Get Shitty, and here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Let's Get Shitty.
Ah, yes.
Time
Let's
to
get shitty.
complain.
Let's do it. So, you know how this works? You get bonus points if it's about poop, but it's not doesn't be poop related. So, if you want to go first, you don't have to. We can do.
My Let's Get Shitty is not poop related. It's just, and I know you've complained about this before, but the subway is just.
It's getting worse.
So bad. And it's a mixture of two things. I've gotten stuck on the train 3 times this week.
Ugh.
3 separate times. The first 2 were like 4 or 5 minutes, and the third time was 20 minutes. I was sitting in between stations, just like.
Mm-hmm.
But know that the majority of those times it was a suicide. Like that's even the sadder part.
Well, last week I got a whole train canceled for that reason. The other one was there's train congestion.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm on the express train. You only make 5 stops in the city.
Yeah.
Like what is happening?
Yeah.
And I'm watching the local train fly by, and I'm like, why?
If you saw the actual equipment that they use to communicate with the trains, and then the actual switchers, there's like a main hub switching control. I think the Times or maybe the Atlantic or some, in their New York Magazine, there Times did a whole video piece about it. Some of these pieces are so from like the dawn of the century. Like they have to like actually they don't have the parts for them. Sometimes if they have machinists make parts based off of things that break, and it's like it takes like 3 or 4 people to actually like switch trains at certain points. So when they said usually if there's like some kind of backup or some kind of like train traffic, it's because
somebody's
minus
fucked up.
suicides, but no, the actual equipment used to do this stuff is fucked up.
That's ridiculous.
It's antiquated. It's
ridiculous.
It's like it looks like it's something out of like some like old like 1920s like silent film like where it's just like it's like some kind of weird like there's like 20 people working like this giant machine to like move one thing.
No, you know what's the most ridiculous part? I've been living in New York City for 23 and a half years. In that time, I've watched it's almost doubled in price for one ride, and the advertising on there has like quadrupled.
Yeah, everywhere.
There's advertising, so they're making money.
But what are they doing with it?
Exactly. That's
Selling
the problem.
tap and go things. I'm like, fix the fucking train.
Yes.
I can use a Metro card. I'm good. But that
the L train on the tunnel that goes from Brooklyn to Manhattan, they were working on that for years. Not the tunnel. They were always having these shutdowns, and it wasn't because they were fixing the tunnel. They were doing that time thing to tell you how close the train is. It's like, I don't give a fuck about that.
They're never right.
Just be here.
Just run on time. Just run properly.
It just the mixture of the train sucking, and also if I see one more person fully open mouth cough on the train, I'm gonna punch them in the throat. I keep seeing it, and like I got in a cold earlier this week, and I was like, when I was feeling really shitty and going to work, and I was looking around like. Every time I had to sneeze, I was like in my coat, like trying to be so.
Well, that's what those masks are for.
And people are out there, open mouth, full adults, open mouth coughing. Yeah. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
You need to wear one of those masks.
Yeah, I might need to get one because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Don't sneeze and like I will punch you in the throat.
We're it was a de-evolution as humans.
Literally,
we're just kind of like whatever.
Horrible.
Well, I get what I get. Whatever I got, you got now.
Dave, do you have one?
Actually, I don't. I mean, it's weird. Like I just been so crazy this week with work stuff that like I haven't had a chance to think about anything to complain about, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I guess a slight one would just be like due to global warming or climate change, this fucking weather is killing me as far as like what to wear, what not to wear.
Yeah.
What it's like 58 one day, it's 31 the next day. So that's just more of a general
Or like
gripe.
raining on one side of the street and totally sunny on the other. It's like
it's just I don't know. I really didn't bring anything to the show today, unfortunately, to complain about, and it's weird because I normally have lots of to complain about. But yeah, I don't know. That was really it. I'm so confused about what to wear outside half the time that I feel like I either go outside completely overdressed or underdressed.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And I just want to actually kind of live somewhere where I just get the same weather. If I could live in Hawaii somehow, but
so nice.
But like have all the things I like to do, like bring the stuff from New York to Hawaii, because like there's nothing really to do after a certain point. But I could deal with like 85 degrees every single day, sunny, like a light breeze.
Yeah, learn to surf.
Yeah, I could do that like easily.
Yeah,
I'd be good. I don't know what I'd do out there, but So anyway, yeah, that's my let's get shitty sort of like angling towards getting the fuck out of cold weather.
I know yesterday my app said it was 50, so I went out with a light jacket, but I didn't realize how windy it was. And I was like, I am freezing my ass off.
Yeah.
The bone.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nuts out here, people on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So
global warming is a real thing.
For sure. It was 64 in Antarctica yesterday.
Yeah. It was the hottest it's ever been.
It was warmer than they said Orlando or somewhere in Florida.
That's crazy.
If that's not the science of proof of
Yeah.
global warming, it's never
64.
been that hot in
The
Antarctica.
polar bears were like, what?
Yeah.
Polar bears are the one polar bear that's left.
Right.
It's like,
laying out
shit.
tanning. I was like,
Yeah.
I guess. Like, trying to
Fuck.
shave a bikini.
He's like, this jacket is really hot.
Oh my God.
Ellen?
My only let's get shitty is the post office and the employees there. They need to like have some, the word going postal, I totally get it because they are the most miserable fucks ever. But like I was standing in line and I get to the front of the line and you can't really walk up to the thing. You need them to call you over. And I just watched this woman on her phone. And I'm just standing there and she's on her phone.
Next.
And I'm like, are you gonna do your job? Get off your fucking phone.
My post office has a big sign that says like no cell phones.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Clearly
I wanted to kill her.
That doesn't like affect the people like that work behind the glass, but whatever. Okay.
They're like,
yeah, they don't give a shit. I mean, to be honest with you, sometimes half the time I see either people like that are the customers are being such rude pricks that I get it, but I'm like, I just need some stamps, man. Like,
if the line is really long, my
simple.
favorite thing to do though when I'm at the post office is look at the Google and Yelp reviews of that post office. It is the funniest thing. It's like the only thing that helps me like get through it because it'll be like, I gave this post office 1 star because I can't give it 0 stars. This is the worst place in the world.
Slash, that's every post office.
Yeah.
I need to do this.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Just read down the list and you're just like laughing hysterically and it makes the time go by much faster.
It's so funny about that too because like, and that does nothing. Like, I mean, I get it. Like at the moment, you're probably like, but the post office is like, yeah, we don't give a shit.
No,
like
we're
good luck
government employees.
Where are you gonna get your packages from?
Yeah.
UPS? It's like, okay, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like fuck FedEx or DHL. Well, yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Flush those problems.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get flushed. Right, we're into the home stretch here. Yay! So we got some news, and we're gonna play this. I feel like we should just like we're basically retiring our old. I feel like I'm gonna play the old news one. We haven't played it in so long.
You don't have to.
I know, but
you can do
I feel
whatever
like
you
we
want.
haven't played that one in a minute, so I'm gonna play the old one, the original one. Oh, gee.
Do it.
I forgot what it sounded like. I was like,
It's a good lead in.
It's long though.
Yeah, we talk over it. We used to.
I feel like it needs like one of those panning news things where it shows like, it's like Ellen with sports.
Breaking news. Breaking wind. Ooh.
There we go. Yes. So, Ellen, you sent me this news article, I believe. This is on CNN, and Frank Sinatra's toilet went up for auction. Before I even get into this story, I'm in the process of like we have to get rid of like this bookcase I've been talking about forever. We have so much shit we're just trying to get rid of, but we just can't start yet. But anyway, the thought of like buying a fucking toilet, a gold-plated marble toilet is
show him the picture.
It's
I posted
ridiculous.
this on the Instagram, but I'll post it again.
It's just like, and also
ornate.
It's super ornate. I guess when you have a lot of money after a while, you're like, you know what I need?
But if you read the article, it's not even really his toilet.
Well, I mean, still though, but it's just like, it's just like people.
He shit on it a lot.
Well, people just want like anything that's got like,
celebrity attached.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I kind of don't even get that part. Like after a while, I'm like, yeah, I don't care about a fucking toilet.
And people are like, well, I shit where Frank Sinatra once shat.
Well, clearly. I mean, this thing went for $4,250. It's not even a Toto toilet. It's not even a robot toilet where his wife's going to wipe my own ass and like, fan me off.
Does it sing to you like classic jazz standards?
Oh, that would be hilarious stuff. It did. I mean, maybe that'd be a little worth it, but still. And then he had another toilet sold, a basic marble one. Basic was in quotes, for $1,800.
Wow.
It's like typically those go for $2,000, so the person got a deal in the marble one. but
also, the Toto's more expensive than that. Like, if you have that money.
Yeah, but still, $4,000. It's like I'd rather spend that money to get the Toto.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Why is there a state like we need this money to sell the toilets? Like what?
Well, it was the casino.
Yeah.
So it was a casino that he had his own suite when he worked there, and so that's why I'm like, so it's not like from his house.
It's not really, but it is and it isn't. It's like once removed kind of thing. Like it's just basically it was his place, but just he didn't.
It was like his casino suite.
It's where he took his like whiskey and Coke poops.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally.
And it sounded like this toilet was in the early 80s. So he was like old man shitting in there.
That's when he had the teleprompters because he couldn't remember the lyrics anymore. No, seriously, look it up.
So a lot of sevens is what
I'm
he
was
a lot
like,
of Bristol sevens.
Or ones.
Like he was
it's both sides of the spectrum, nothing in between.
He's like, that's why the lady's a shoe. Frank. That's actually not the lyric. But I just thought that was a funny piece, and it's obviously toilet related. I mean, there's some other bullshit on here. They sold his grand baby piano for like $7,000.
That
makes sense
more
because it's an instrument.
Yeah, on
and it's
brand.
like, and exactly, if you're a singer or like a musician, you're like, if he's influenced by Frank Sinatra, I get that, But a toilet, I don't really care about that.
Yeah, but it is a nice looking toilet. If I went into somebody's bathroom and opened the door and I saw that, I'd be like, "Woo! I'm gonna squeeze out a turd just to say I shit on here."
This looks like something MC Hammer would buy.
I don't want to buy. Oh yeah, that's
like,
hilarious.
This is like, I mean, I don't know, whatever. But again, it's.
How do you think the tissue would look on it?
I don't think it would even fit on here.
You'd have to get a special one made.
I just that whole ornate like bullshit. But I don't know. Whatever. I like expensive shit too. Like that I would love to have. So I can't really complain.
I wouldn't want to personally buy it, but if I saw it or somebody gifted me it, I'd be pretty stoked.
Someone gave it to me. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'd go somewhere to sit out. Like if someone's like, "Oh, I got this," I'd be like, "All right, I'm gonna come."
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, that's my moment.
I'll bring my paper in.
The funniest is because it's marble. It's so heavy. Oh. The best would be like, "I just bought this toilet," and you like turn to your super like, "I need you to install this," and you'd be like, "You don't have load bearing."
Yeah, right. No,
put it on the floor, cracks.
We got to put like another like subfloor in there to fucking like work that. You're like, what? Now it's just sitting in the corner of your apartment, like in the corner. People are like, "Well, you could use it as a stool."
A planter.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, that would be a pretty badass planter.
This is a toilet you can only install in the basement.
People just buy dumb shit. But again, I don't know. I spend money on stupid shit sometimes too, so I can't really complain.
And it reminds me of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, where he's got the ABBA poop in it.
Yeah. I mean, like,
people wanting famous.
People love people love like celebrity. They love that sort of whole thing. So they want a piece of their favorite person. I get it. I mean, I don't get it, but
yeah,
I suppose if you get else going in your life.
I mean, if it was Pee Wee Herman's toilet, I would be buying that in a second.
I can't think of one person that I admire that I would buy that care about having their toilet. I don't think I'd even.
Pee Wee's it.
Pee Wee. Okay.
I think people would kill each other to get a Beyonce toilet.
Oh my god!
Not me personally, but like people would.
Oh, anything Beyonce.
Yeah,
there's plenty of celebrities out there.
There's people that buy like hair.
Yeah,
and like weird shit like that.
Ugh.
Like that's creepy.
Yeah. I don't like any celebrity that much.
Yeah, me either. I've never gone that far. Been like, you know what? I want that person's underwear. Never.
No. I don't even want Pee Wee's underwear, but his toilet I would.
You want his
trench coat maybe?
Yeah.
Just for. I feel like people like, this is Pee Wee Herman's. I'd be like, oh wow.
If someone was like, if it was like Frank Sinatra had this painting that he bought, like, and I can get that. That's cool. Or something kind of art wise, maybe, but like actual physical object that just I don't know. I don't really care about plumbing.
You do care about plumbing, just not famous plumbing.
Yeah, I mean, I just want something to work. Is it going to work? Like I don't need all the ornateness. That's even a word. But anyway, Jacoby, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You were great.
Was so much fun. Thank you.
You're amazing.
Like this is a dream come true.
And if any of Jacoby's friends have stories that they don't want to come on to tell us in person anonymously, they can email us.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna let them know because there are some good ones.
Yes.
I'll be like, please write in.
Yes, we want to read emails on air of people's crazy stories.
Yeah, emails.
That could be a whole podcast.
We have one. We have one. I had a friend of mine gave us a story, and I said we read it. We haven't read it yet because we don't have enough stories to read on the air yet. So once we do, that's gonna be the first one. So, but yeah, you can email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com.
Yes.
And send in your stories, your embarrassing moments. we'll read it.
Yeah, if you want to be anonymous, you can.
Do it. I'll be listening.
An AKA name, whatever you want to do, and we'll read it. But thank you so much for being able to show that.
Yeah,
it was so
thank
great.
you. And where can people find you on the socials?
You can find me at Jacoby Pruitt on Instagram and the Facebooks. And my Twitter is, I think, at Jacoby with 2 Y's and an underscore.
Oh, nice.
I like Twitter. It's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to get on Twitter. Maybe that'll be the new frontier for me.
Well, Hey Poopy's on Twitter.
I know. And it's so funny because I always forget to like send it from Instagram. I'm like, oh yeah, we got a Twitter account. It's so embarrassing. But I do remember a couple, here and there. So whatever. But we'll go out and find you.
Yay.
People go out and find Jacoby. He's awesome.
Yes.
Thank
you. Thanks again.
Yay.
Yay. Happy pooping, everybody. And toot, toot, toot. Hey, everybody. Thank you for listening to Hey Poopy with Dave and Ellen. You can listen to us on platforms like iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, and even YouTube. Subscribe and rate and review and tell all your friends about us.
For more info about Hey Poopy, go to heypoopypodcast.com. You'll find great links on our merch. We have some really cool merch, by the way. Shirts, mugs, cards, bags, all kinds of things. If you have any questions, product reviews you would like us to do, just general emails, we just want to say hello. Email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. And you can also go on Instagram and check us out there at Hey Poopy Podcast. You'll see all the fun toilet pics, anything fart and poop related. So if you have any extra submissions you want to show us or things that you think are funny, just let us know and we'll post it for you. Hey Poopy Podcast is produced by Dave and Ellen.
With executive producer Stormy Leather, edited by Dave. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy.
Oh, that one's gross.
Very wet.
Oh my God. Okay.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?